I'm sorry. I had my TV still on. Yeah, I was trying to get some updates from different people and stuff about the Diddy trial today. Okay, let's get into it. So the trial started, and they continued to have Brianna Bungolian on trial this morning when they started. So if you don't remember, Brianna Bongolian is Cassie's friend. They are still friends to this day. She pretty much testified to the pretty much the situation that happened on the balcony where she claims that Diddy dangled her. What's up, Chris? Dangled her over the balcony and her feet were hanging. Her feet were dangling, she said. She also testified that she's about, I can't remember, 4'11", I believe. And she thinks that she was about 115 pounds at that time. So the defense finished with her testimony. They were in on her very hard. Today, while she was giving her testimony, Diddy was seen looking at the jury like for a response or whatever, right? So the judge was already watching him. After that, the government called Enrique Santos. He worked for the New York Police Department. He extracts data from cell phones, data that was deleted. So any type of deleted data is what people come to him for. So the government, of course, is paying for this witness here, and he's given his testimony very quickly about extractions. He says he worked for SDNY for 17 years. He says he's extracted deleted messages over 3,000 times. What's up, Sam? He says he does these cases a lot. The government asked him, whose three phones are these? And he said these are Cassie Ventura's phones. The defense asked, some deleted messages remain. He says yes. The September 30th, 2016 text message, were you able to get a screenshot? He says yes, he was. The defense says thank you. The judge asks for the next witness to come. So pretty much, Enrique Santos came, gave his the information he found. He was in charge of finding the information that was deleted off of Cassie's three iPhones that she had, and he did a great job. Came in, delivered it very quick. What's up, Sebastian? What's up, Brain? What's up, Emma? So anyway, so then Jane Doe came in. And so Jane Doe, y'all, listen. Now, I'm not in the courtroom, and I know you're not supposed to be giving out information, and I don't even know if anyone has said it yet who they believe Jane Doe is, but I have a pretty good idea who Jane Doe is, and I'm gonna say it because I'm pretty sure other people saying it. Someone has said it, okay? I really believe Jane Doe is 50 Cent baby mama. Now, I remember a picture, seeing a video, not even a picture, a video of 50 Cent's baby mama and P. Diddy walking on a beach or something. And I can't remember how long ago that was, but it was a couple years back. And I remember in the caption, it was saying something about love. So when Diddy ended up having his baby Love, I thought that was the baby's mom, and they named the child Love. But no, we don't know for sure. Well, we probably do know, but no one's confirming it. But anyway, I believe that's who Jane Doe is. And listen, you'll see why I say that. Also. Let's see here. So Jane Doe comes on. The government asks, "Where did you grow up?" She says, "California." "What college did you go to college?" She says, "Yes, junior college, and then modeling." Okay, so these girls, they call modeling like stripping, dancing, all the above, child. I didn't know back in my day, modeling was strictly walking and posing with clothes on. But nowadays, these girls call modeling these activities they do without clothes on. So I don't know. And yes, everyone, please give me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes. So also, while Jane Doe was on the stand today testifying, Diddy kept looking over to the jury to find out what their reactions were. He was even like, he was caught by the judge, like doing some nodding, like doing certain parts of James Doe's testimony. So the judge had to stop his session, had to stop the session and tell not well, tell Diddy and his team of lawyers that if Diddy don't stop doing what he doing, they're going to put him out, or they're going to make it so he's not even in the courtroom while they're having the trial. And so of course, Agnifilo said, "Yes, yes, Judge, we won't have that problem again." So yeah, the judge had to put Diddy on blast because he saw him nodding and giving doing some type of facial expressions with the jury. So it got real heated in the courtroom because it looked like for a moment Diddy was going to be kicked out of the courtroom. But anyway, so Jane Doe was asked, "Whom did you have a relationship with?" She says, "Diddy in 2021 through 2024. "What did you call him?" She said she called him Sean. She called him Ernie. She also called him Snookums. "When did you meet him?" She says, "In 2020 we met. I was on a girls trip to Miami. He was dating my friend at the time. And he was real funny and nice. We went on a yacht partying." She says, "He gave me his cell phone number. Did you see rugs there with the D?" She says, "Yes. My friend asked for some, and we went to the studio in Two Star. A man pulled out pink powder." She says her friend got really upset. She thought that she was getting too close to Diddy, and they left very quickly after that. Now, Jane Doe also testified that her friend at the time was engaged to a guy, and she still was upset about her seeing Diddy. Now I wonder who her friend is. So that'll be really interesting to find out who the both of them actually are, even though, like I said, I have a really good idea of who this Jane Doe is. But I guess we'll have to wait till Tasha K spill the beans to find out for sure. So she says Diddy gave her his number. They left very quickly after that because her friend was upset. The next day, we had drinks by the pool, then a movie night. He texted me. He liked me and he would like to take me out. She said she replied that it felt complicated. They asked, "Where were you living at this time?" She says, "On the East Coast." "Did he contact you?" She says, "Yes." She says Diddy was very flirtatious with her. She says he invited her to Miami and he told her to call him Ernie. So here goes another alias that Diddy went by. And I know why he probably wanted her to call him a different name, because if this really is 50 Cent baby mama, he don't want her putting Diddy or Sean in her cell phone because, it might just cause problems for later on. I don't know this to be true. This is just my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. Okay, she says her friend had been seeing Diddy and had a fiance at the same time. They asked, how long did your first date last? She said their first date lasted 5 days. She says, I told him I dated someone he knew, and she has a child. Her child's father is someone that doesn't like him. Who we know don't like Diddy other than 50 Cent. Okay, 50 Cent the onlyest one. Okay. She says Diddy invited her to Turks and Caicos in February 2021. She was excited. They asked who else was there. She said KK, the chef, the butler, at one point the barber. How long did you stay? She says she stayed 9 days in Turks and Caicos and 6 days in the Bahamas. Child, he pretty much held her hostage. Okay, but she didn't claim any of that. She said she was into Diddy big time. I'm sure she was, okay? But she said she was really into him. So whatever he wanted, he could get pretty much. The government asks, the government played a video and asks, what do we see in the video? She says, the villa, the vibe. What did you tell Diddy? So I guess the government just showed her a video of them being there together. So that wouldn't come up for discussion, saying that she wasn't there in Turks and Caicos with Diddy, because they have proof that she actually was in Turks and Caicos with Diddy. She says that I was a single mother. What did you tell Diddy? She says that I was a single mom and a content creator for social media. She said I advertised for brands on her page. So during the time she wasn't with him, or during the time she was with him, she had to let him know, look, I do have a content creator. I do my content creation thing, and that's how I get paid. So, she's spending all these days with him, 9 days in Turks and Caicos, 6 days in the Bahamas. Of course, someone's wondering how you make your money. Like, are you going to be able to have your money for your rent? Because you up here with Diddy. But she said the conversation did come up, and she told Diddy. She said that Diddy gave her a bracelet and $10,000. What rugs had you used before? She said she had only used the X pill before she met Diddy. That was the only rug she had ever used. Okay. And she says that was once in 2014 and then again in 2015. And in Turks and Caicos, Diddy asked me to like do other rugs like 10 times, she says, while they were in the pool. She said she took the X pill and they walked on the beach and she fell out. So apparently she had some type of reaction to the pill, the X pill that she was given. And she said that it caused her to start convulsing. And she said someone else in KK, maybe Diddy and KK, put her in the shower and ran cold water on her. Whew, child. See, I don't even want to do none of that, because I don't want to go through none of that. Okay, none of it. But it made me think about Q, the guy from Day 26, I believe, on Making the Band. He came out and did an interview, I think was that last week or the week before, saying that Don Richard gave him a pill and said it was from Diddy, and said that he took the pill because they took pills often and he thought they were just going to get freaky. And he said he woke up screaming, and he believed something might have been going on with him, like they may have been doing something to him, because when he woke up screaming. Now, Jane Doe testified the same thing. She also said she woke up screaming as well. She says she passed out. She was convulsing. I'm thinking seizures? Like, I don't know. But anyway, she said she was screaming. And the only way they can get her to calm down was to put her in that shower and run cold water on her. Whew, child, that's a lot. Now, I don't want to do no rugs that make me act like that right there. So, I'll just not. She said she was screaming also. They put her in the shower. She said KK put her in the shower. Did you take another X pill? She says yes. They gave her a smaller dose to make sure it wouldn't happen again. That's a safe way to do it, right? She said it made her feel more relaxed. I wonder if it was something different. But anyway, she said it enhanced her touch and sense. In the Bahamas, did you take it? She says yes, she took it again. Diddy gave it to her. Diddy told her he was dating multiple women and she was okay with it. Did you sense the relationship could be monogamous? She says no. So, like, she knew she ain't had no choice. If he said he wanted to do this, you either gonna do this or you're not at all. That's it, and that's all. I hope you're having a good day too, Brain. What's up, Emma? Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here again, I'm going over Diddy's trial for today. This is Jane Doe's testimony. She's testifying about what she experienced. She's expected to be on trial until next week. So today, only the government questioned her today. So you already know and they didn't finish. So when they come back tomorrow, the government's going to continue questioning her, and then she'll probably stay on up until Thursday. Hopefully not, because we do know that Jane Doe's flight is next Thursday, and the judge already said that he's not rearranging any flights. So everything they need to say, they need to go ahead and say it between now and next Thursday before her flight. Let's see here. She says, I dated him into his arrest. Any breaks they act, she says, one in October 2023. She said for 4 months. Now, if you don't remember, November 2023 is when Cassie filed her police report, filed her SA report, and was paid within hours of posting of everyone posting that information that Cassie was filing a lawsuit against Diddy. So she said in October they split up for 4 months. Then they got back together in February 2024. How public were you? She says it was private. Did you post about your relationship on social media? She said once she did. And I wonder if that's the time they went to Turks and Caicos and the video played, and 50 Cent posted something. If Jane Doe is 50 Cent baby mama, which I'm thinking she is, 50 Cent posted something real crazy about her and Diddy. I remember. I'm gonna look it up. And then I'm gonna post it on here. So if you see it like as a video or a short or something, you already know what time it is. Okay. She said they asked, where did you move? She said she moved to LA. He gave me $6,000 for the move from 2021 to February. From 2021 of February to May. How often of 2022, how often did you see Diddy? She says every other week she saw him. He would fly her wherever he was at. Every other week, okay? She says he was sweet. He would give me money here and there, cash and wires. She said both. He would give her large amounts of cash, and he will also wire money to her. Now in LA, when she moved to LA from New York, because she was living in New York at the time, Diddy Diddy got her an apartment in LA. Well, I don't know if he got it for her, but Diddy paid for her apartment in LA. Okay? He paid for the apartment, and so you already know where we're going with this, okay? How often did you use rugs? She says every time she was with Diddy. It was expected. She said she used X, she used Molly, she used the cocaine, she used the ketamine. When were when we were having relations, what did you learn? She says she learns what he likes and that he like pornography. Pornography. Okay, he liked to watch it. She said he would have it planned constantly in the beginning. Then, y'all, she says he liked her in lingerie with high stripper heels. She said she was told to put baby oil all over her body and his. What type of rooms? She said in his bedroom. She said we would have red lights on. How did you feel? She says I love them. May 2021, what happened? When we would watch The Corn with the P, he would have me search things on these websites. He says he wanted me to fantasize. She said they were in Miami at the time. She had been up for 15 or 24 hours, y'all. She said she wasn't getting a lot of sleep at all. She even testified that the freak offs, they called them hotel nights or debaucheries. Now I heard debauchery has another meaning, and I'm gonna have to find what debauchery actually mean. But she said they called them hotel nights, not freak offs. So they were doing the same thing, but they were about to start. Let me get to that. Okay. She says, X, Molly, everything. She said, Diddy said he could make it happen tonight. When Diddy asked her, like, what would her fantasy be, or and then they start talking about a certain fantasy. So she said she went in the bathroom, she came back out. Diddy was on his phone, like intense, like serious, like he was on his phone doing something. And she said the next thing she know, he pops his head up finally, and he says, oh, we could make that happen tonight. And she said she was very nervous because she wasn't sure, like, what was about to go on. But I guess when they were fantasizing, they both were talking about her being with other men and what the other men would do to her. And so Diddy, I guess, in his mind was like, oh, sure, I could make that happen tonight. Okay. Anyway, that sounds like him. When they could talk about grooming people, that's exactly what grooming is, right? You do things for someone, you pay them money, you be super nice, you give them stuff, you show them a nice time, you're always nice to them, and then the next thing you know, you start asking them questions about things you want to do, and then the next thing you know, now is, oh, we got to do those things you like to do, and that's it, and that's all. So pretty much that's exactly what he did to her. Let's see here. Where did I leave off at? She said, okay, when it came to that fantasy, when I came out the bathroom, he was staring intensely at his phone. He said, it's happening tonight. I was like, tonight? Then she said, okay. Then we went to a hotel. His assistants were setting everything up. Must have been setting stuff up around her. She sounded very confused when she was talking about it. She was like, the assistants were setting everything up and getting everything together, and everything was moving so fast. She says it was red lights on. He said he knew the guy because she asked for protection, and Diddy wouldn't allow her to use protection because he said he knew the guy, and the guys get tested very often. She says she was super nervous. Do you remember the assistants? She says no, she doesn't remember the assistants. Because remember, she talked about being up there in the sky for about 15 to 24 hours. Okay, can you imagine being high 15, 24 hours out the day and then having freak offs for 20 to 30 hours a day? It ain't even 30 hours in a day. So it's like you overdue for some rest. Poor thing. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. She says we were in a suite. I said hello to everyone while they were setting up the room all around her. She said she saw Dawn as if Dawn was like a regular person that she knew. Dawn is from Cowboys and Angels, so maybe she had to pick him out because she did say that Diddy had her looking up a whole bunch of sites, but she didn't say what type of website she was looking up. Probably for other men. I'm gonna get into my thoughts on that. Anyway, y'all already know what I'm thinking. She said she saw Don. They asked who was Don. She says the entertainer. I was on the couch in my robe. I've told him Diddy told me to stand up and dance because she said she was very nervous. So he told her to stand up and dance. So that helped her to shake off some of the nerves. She says Don was there with his underwear on. So it was her, Diddy, and Don. And she said that Diddy was recording. What was Diddy doing? She said he was touching himself and telling her what to do. She said he was talking very sweetly to her. She says, but she just went to get it over with real fast. She says she asked for protection. He says the guys had been tested all the time. After Don left, Diddy and her would make love, she called it. Okay, the next day, she said they went on a yacht and partied, and then she went home. The government asked, how did things change? She said it opened a Pandora's box. There was so much of it afterwards. So afterwards, after they had that one night that looked like he was already ready to get set up, because they probably already had the room ready. And, all they need to do was put the stuff in there and make it look like they wasn't already set up. But anyway, what else did Jane Doe say? She says afterwards it opened up Pandora box, and they had hotel nights or debaucheries every night after that. Every time they had intercourse, they had a hotel night. So a lot of people were trying to say that Cassie was really wanting to have these freak offs with Diddy, but it sounds like Diddy gets his girlfriends to have these hotel nights or freak offs, whatever you want to call them, and it's pretty much out of their control. And then it turns into a paying gig. And I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna get into that, okay? So she says, let's see here. There was so much of it afterwards. It was all the time. What did Diddy tell you about your rent when you said you did not want to have the intercourse with other men? She says that he'd give me maybe two more, he would give me 3 more nights. How did you feel? She said she felt obligated after that. She has a child or children. We already know. She done moved to LA, probably got a very nice, expensive luxury apartment. She's with Diddy. You think she wants to give that up, Young Miami? I'm sorry. Did I say that? So no, she wasn't about to give that up. So the defense said objection. They had a sidebar. The government asked again, between 2023 and up until his arrest, did you feel obligated to have intercourse with other men? She says yes. We called it debaucheries or hotel nights. How often did you see him? She says very often. And every time she saw him, they had a hotel night every single time. Mind y'all, Diddy not only paying for her apartment, he paying for the guys to have the nights also, and he paying for the hotel room. And while he was at most of these hotel rooms, he would have multiple suites or hotel rooms. So he wouldn't be in the hotel by itself. He would always have multiple rooms, or not always, I would say. Allegedly, he would have other rooms at the hotel. So he is spending a lot of money, okay, on these hotel nights. Let's see here. She said um, Diddy and I, or she said she had to be ready for Diddy when he called her, and that include having childcare ready at the drop of a dime. She said he wanted her beautiful at all times. Her nails had to be light, probably white, but she said her nails had to be white. She had to get certain piercings. She had to have her nails done. She had to be tanned. She also said that her hair had to be slicked back in a ponytail. She says he was very particular about her look. She had to be beautiful at all times. She said the government asked, how did Diddy like your friends? She says he was very dismissive with her friends. He didn't want her having time for no friends. You ain't got time to work on a regular job. You ain't got time to have friends because you got money to make out here. Pimping? Okay, you ain't got time for none of that. She says one time she wanted to go to France with her friends, and Diddy did not like it. He was very defensive, and so she didn't want to do anything to make him uneasy or upset, so she didn't go. Um, did you tell him you wanted to make your own money? She says yes, on OnlyFans. She wanted to be on OnlyFans and show like herself in lingerie. She said one of her friends was making $4 million on OnlyFans. But she didn't say what her friend was doing, because I'm pretty sure her friend wasn't on there just showing herself in lingerie. But I don't know. I'm not even subscribed to that content. He gave me this hesitation like energy when she asked him about OnlyFans. He was like, let's just wait a while. And the government asked, I'm sorry, what is this? She says, that's my lease. How much was your rent? She says her rent in LA was $10,000. Now, how she was going to pay that? I'm going to get into it. Diddy asked me to do a love contract. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. So Diddy asked her to do a love contract. He asked her how much allowance did I want to make going forward. She said 15, she said 10, 15,000, and Diddy said 10,000. So Diddy agreed in this love contract to pay her $10,000 as an allowance for what? She says, I wanted a beautiful home, so that would balance everything out. So that's how she ended up gauging the amount of money, to let him know she wanted as an allowance, because she wanted a beautiful home. She said his travel agent, Jess or KK, would arrange for the flights to hotels. What does that sound like, y'all? That's X racketing. Okay. How many bottles of baby oil per night did y'all use? She says 24 bottles of baby oil or more per night. She testified he would give her $5,000 and $10,000 in cash at one time. And then one time he gave her $20,000 by wire to furnish her apartment in LA. She testified that they had hotel nights in LA New York, Miami, and in Turks and Caicos. She testified that the hotel nights would last 20 to 30 hours. She definitely should have been paid. She should be paid afterwards. Like, she should still be getting some type of settlement or payment or something for having to go through all that, for having to do two men. Because Diddy would mess with her, and then, oh no, Diddy would have her mess with the guy first. Then Diddy will always come after she messed with the guy and mess with her. So the government did ask her, what about the ejaculation? And she said that she didn't have to clean that up. So and then they said this would be a good time to break, and they ended it for the day. So I wonder where they're going with that part, because remember, Cassie said that Diddy would, if the guy, the entertainer or escort, wouldn't ejaculate, Cassie would have to go back in that room and get him right so that he can ejaculate, so that she can rub it on his nipples. So it's a lot of stuff. I feel like, in my opinion, Cassie did not tell us about her and Diddy freak offs. I felt like she probably was going in that room and pegging Diddy, because I don't know how big of fans y'all are of like Cassie or Diddy or whatever, but I remember a couple of years back for Gay Pride Month, and it wasn't last year. I believe it was the year before last. What's up, Dwight? What's up? I hope you're having a good evening. But yeah, I remember Cassie's husband posting a message on social media about people coming out of the closet, and happy Pride Month to everyone in New York. And he was like, and the husband said, I hope everyone begin to feel as confident as you guys are to come out of the closet. And I remember when he posted that, I knew exactly who he was talking about. So if he feels that way, then it's something that actually was going on that we don't know, because Cassie hasn't told us. My day's been beautiful, Dwight. Yes. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, I feel like Cassie has left a lot out of her testimony. I feel like maybe she didn't want to tell. She probably still felt nervous being on that stage, and having to see, or on the stand, having to see Diddy probably made her feel a little, maybe a little bit like she didn't want to give it all, like tell it all, especially about him being gay. Now, I only say that because it just don't add up. It doesn't. It's nice to see you too, Dwight. Thank you so much for joining my channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel here and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate y'all being here to watch the footage here for Diddy's trial today. But yeah, I feel like Cassie left a lot of stuff out. I feel like this Jane Doe, who I believe is 50 Cent baby mama, I feel like she's leaving a lot of stuff out too. Probably because, like they say, they care for this man, right? So if they care for this man, they're not just going to come out and give up all his secrets and tell everything, because Cassie ain't volunteered no more information. And Jane Doe testified that her and Diddy would watch Corn together with the P, but she didn't say if any of the videos were people that she knew, like Cassie or anyone she knew would be in the video. I wonder. I wonder. But it really seems like both of them, Cassie and this Jane Doe chick, is not telling everything, not being completely honest about especially his Diddy sexuality. And I wonder if the government's going to get more into that, because just think about it, y'all. Diddy's spending a whole lot of money just to pay for a man to have intercourse with his woman. And he's paying the woman. So he's paying the woman, he's paying the man, and he's watching both of them. He's paying for the room, he's paying for all these products. Okay? why, who, what man would be paying for other men to come there? Like, some men will just watch porn with you or corn with you, but not pay the man to come there to do you and be watching it. That's weird. That's weird. And I don't feel like that is voyeurism or whatever. I don't know. That sound like something KK probably found for him to use as a reason why he liked to see men bang his women. I don't know. That seems like a nice way to justify him liking to have other men in the room butt naked. I don't know. I don't know what y'all feel about it. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel here, because I will be back with the mess, okay? Like I said, I'm covering the Diddy trial, the whole trial, and this is supposed to last until sometime in July. So I believe we have 4 more weeks or 5 weeks. I'm not quite sure. It's no more than 5 weeks that I do know. And then that will lead right up to like that first week in July. But anyway, you guys, if y'all want to talk about it more, we could talk about it in the comment section. Leave me a message here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I really would appreciate that. And also, once I hit my 500 subscribers, y'all, I'm going in, okay? I'm going to do some type of little 500 subscriber celebration on my channel here. So I'm really hoping to get to 500 subscribers very soon. But I'm going to treat it like I got 100,000 subscribers, okay? I'm going to be so excited. So happy for that to happen. But thanks, you guys. I love you too, Chris. Make sure you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.